Hey folks, Fernando doing a video for the Modern Survivalist, and watch this video. It is pretty important, especially if you are living in a part of the country where coronavirus is spreading a little bit faster. It's becoming more and more of a risk. It's unfortunate that it has become so politicized in terms of not going straight for facts, but more on feels and political gain. That is pretty unfortunate because it is very much a real pandemic. It is something that deserves your attention, and for anyone even slightly interested in survival and preparedness, this is a kind of thing you've been preparing for a long time. And I'm not jumping into any politically correct bandwagon here. In fact, anything that I'm going to be explaining here, everything I'm going to be explaining is really much aligned with what I've been writing and explaining all along for quite some time. This is from my book, which was published last year, way before anything like coronavirus ever came out. This is how I suggest you go about when you have this type of problem. So you have a respirator, you have your eye protection, and you cover as much of your body as possible. That's been my take on this for a while now. Now, one of the things that is happening now is that you're being forced to wear a face mask, something like this, mandated for coronavirus. That is more of a political thing than anything practical, because this kind of surgical mask is really not protecting you much at all. And this is what's being explained in TV through the media. It's not about your protection, it's about protecting others from you if you are sick. This has like an evil commie bent to it. You know, you don't matter, society matters more than you, individual rights are not nearly as important as the good of the people. I don't really fall for that. Yes, if you are sick and you want to have this, or if you don't have anything else on this, sure, go with your surgical mask. But this isn't anywhere near to what the CDC recommends, which is an N95 respirator. I don't have an N95, I have a FFP3, which would be closer to an N99, a bit better than your N95, which is this kind of thing. These are the ones that I've been recommending all along for many years. For many years, I've carried these in my own EDC bags, my Go bags. I have several of these around, and these are quite good because they fit very well around your face. And as it says there, these, you know, as you see, these have a few years on them. They're perfectly serviceable. They're fine. FFP3. It's a good rating, and you have the valve. This is the valve that Democrats hate because in theory it's not protecting our people, because when you exhale, the air comes out of this and it's not being filtered. Truth be told, air is gonna be going out and down directly from your face, so it's really not spreading, at least the way in which they say it's spreading. This is actually a lot worse, because with this type of mask you don't have any kind of proper seal around your face. So anytime you exhale, air goes out all over the place. This is a lot more controlled, and it's going to be going down. But it's mostly about control. It's mostly about compliance. Wear this crap because we're telling you to do so. Don't think for yourself. Don't use your own criteria and your own critical thinking. Just obey. I'm not so much in favor of that sort of thing. I think you have to make your own decisions. And, you know, I think that people have the right to protect themselves with this kind of thing, just like with a gun. If you don't want to wear a mask, just don't wear a mask. Now, if you're going to be wearing one, make sure it's something that actually protects you. CDC, N95, that would be the bare minimum I would go for. So your N95 respirator, something even a little bit better like this, perfect. My suggestion is to go with an actual, and this is something I explain in my book, once you have a pandemic that's well established and it's going to be lasting what pandemics usually last, which is a year and a half, 2 or 3 waves, the first wave usually being the more light one. So you're going to be having a lot more to worry about in the future. So in terms of gas masks, respirators, this sort of thing, the typical military type gas mask, this is the one I mostly end up wearing because it's the best thing you can have. It's protecting, covering your face entirely. You have some of the best filters currently available in the market. You don't even smell like alcohol. You don't even smell, you know, perfume. Nothing gets through these things because that's entirely the way in which they're designed. They're designed so as to stop, you know, poisonous gas, radioactive particles. Now, I don't want to make this video super long, but basically filters come in two kinds. You have filters that filter, well, actually it's three kinds, because filters can filter either particles, gases and vapors, or both of those. So you have three types. These are the ones that filter both particles and gases and fogs. These ones are the ones that only filter particles. Your N95 is a particle filter that filters 95% of the particles. This is P100. This would be closer to an N100, N99. Over 99% of the particles being filtered. A little bit better than your N95. So, typical question that I get before you even ask, what mask is this? Sure, this is a General Service Respirator by Scott. You're only going to be finding it online on eBay, that sort of thing. Usually you will find the American military mask, which is the M50, I believe, M54. You have a few, but they are super expensive. I mean, I'll leave links as I always do, but those things go like for 800 bucks these days. They weren't really very cheap to begin with, but now it's just ridiculous. My advice is to go with something like this. Either like a half face mask that's covering your nose and mouth. This is going to be more than enough, or even better, a full 3M mask, which is providing protection to your eyes as well. This is a good budget solution, way better than anything like this. These you can combine with these sort of filters, which are, you know, kind of soft filters. These do a great job. Now, for the kind of thing you have now for coronavirus, you want something that's easy to clean. These filters are also 3M P3 filters. P3 would be like your equivalent to an N99, N100, so it's better than an N95 filter. P3, it's basically like a HEPA filter, and you see it right there. It's like a high efficiency particle filter. You see the filtering material there. And these, the beauty is that you can just clean them, wipe them clean on the outside and remove them. You wash the mask, you wipe this clean from the outside, and you don't have this soft material where, you know, virus and germs and anything is more likely to just, you know, settle in there and a little bit more difficult to keep clean. If this is all you have, these days we kind of know that if you expose this to sunshine, very strong direct sunlight, about, you know, a couple hours or so, you're pretty much safe in terms of that killing coronavirus. It's being said right now that direct strong sunlight is going to be killing it in a matter of seconds even, and it's a lot more dangerous to go outside at night because of that, because it survives longer in the air, while sunshine and that those UV rays kill it almost immediately. So that would be a good compromise. Even better, these plastic ones from 3M, model 6035. These are made in Canada, I believe, but you have similar ones made in US as well, made in Canada. Yes, but again, these are easier to clean. Some of these floating around have been expired. Usually they're just fine. These ones are not. These ones are from this year, 2020, and will expire in 2030, which is nice. But again, the 3M 6200, I believe it's a model. I'll leave the link below for you guys if you want to get these, but this is maybe one of the best things. And unlike these things, unlike your surgical mask, which I don't believe is of much use at all, or even your N95 or better, these are disposable. This is not disposable. You can keep on wearing it, using it. When is it that you should be wearing this, using this? Well, use your common sense. If you are like in a grocery store doing your shopping, whatever it is, you are in an office, or you're in a closed environment where there's a bunch of other people that may or may not be sick, then it makes sense to have this. Going out and about on the street wearing a mask, maybe it's not that much of a bright idea unless you're going in very crowded areas, which you probably will want to avoid anyway. But if you are in a closed indoors environment with other people that may be sick, sure, this is the right thing to do. This is the common sense thing to do. There may be in some of the very liberal states and cities, they may give you a hard time for wearing something like this because it's not filtering what you're exhaling, and they'll kind of ban you from wearing something like that and make you wear this. What you can do is put this on top. You know, if I was forced to wear this, I would say, okay, I'll have my mask, I'll put this on top like that. and go fuck yourself. Basically, that would be the idea, the statement that you're trying to say. Because the idea here, guys, is you protect you. You do you. You protect your own, you look after your own well-being. Everyone else, they can look after themselves. That's basically what freedom is all about. If they don't want to bother with it, that's just fine. Now, if you're wearing these, you can combine these with you will have to combine these with some safety goggles, something like that. These are shooting glasses. They go very close to the face, which is good enough. Of course, that is better. This is very good. This is pretty much as good as it gets in some of the basic stuff you can find, a lot better than any of these things. Remember that if you're going to be touching stuff in a store, that sort of thing, any surfaces out in the public, you either want to wash your hands immediately right away with the hand sanitizer, because if you have soap and water, that's even better. But when you're out and about, hand sanitizer makes a lot of sense. And if not, get yourself some gloves. These are nitrile gloves. Avoid the latex gloves with powder stuff. Those, dry your hands pretty bad. I've used those for a while. These are a lot better. So that's basically it, folks. If you like my take on survival and preparedness, keep in mind there's my book, Street Survival Skills, especially with everything going on with Antifa, all these violence, rioting in the street, that sort of thing. You want to have this kind of advice that is like half the book is about self-defense, awareness, and taking care of yourself out in the streets. Folks, it's all for now. Remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell button if you haven't done so already. See you in our next video. Have an awesome day.